Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, woman killed in suspected domestic dispute is Portland's third murder victim of 2024. A woman who is suspected to have been killed due to a domestic dispute on Wednesday is Portland's third murder victim of the year. She is 46-year-old Marilyn White, a laborer of Comfort Castle in the parish. The police are seeking White's baby's father, Richard Gray, otherwise called Otis, a farmer of Millbank in Portland, who they believe can assist with their investigations. It is suspected that the murder took place sometime between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Reports are that Donovan Gray, brother of Richard Gray, left for work around 8 a.m., leaving his brother at home. About 7 p.m. when he returned home, he noticed that the house was in darkness. He used his keys to open the front door, entered and turned on the lights. He then found White's lifeless body lying down between the kitchen and the living room. His brother Richard was not seen at the house, the police report said. The police were summoned to the scene, where they found White's body with several stab wounds to the chest and abdomen, the report disclosed. It added that the living room, bathroom and the kitchen had blood, and it appeared that there was some form of struggle between White and the suspect. White was taken to the Port Antonio Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Her death pushes the parish's murder count to one more than the corresponding period last year. The police have launched an investigation into the murder. Church Pen residents angry at the pace of probe into deadly crash. Residents of Church Pen St. Catherine are again airing their frustration over the pace at which the probe into a deadly crash, which claimed 2 lives back in February, is moving. The early morning collision on Ash Wednesday involved the police constable Renardo Spence and the Marshall March in Island Farm, Old Harbor. Mr. March's body was recovered by residents from bushes near the crash site the following day, more than 24 hours after the incident. The authorities have indicated that they are treating the case as a homicide until a post-mortem is complete. But during Thursday morning's protest, residents and relatives disputed any possibility of Mr. Marshall being murdered. One resident contended that the police's handling of the crash is impeding burial activities.
The police, them not behave professional, them not do them work professional. No, they are saying, like they want to say somebody kill him and put him out there, which this youth is a peaceful youth in the community. Him no make, him no mel. Nobody want a mosquito for pitch on this youth. And them hold on to him body for so long, over 3 months and odd. And we need to know what is the answer, why them hold on to him body. They don't confirm the mother, no family member. Nobody come and say nothing at all to us. So it's like we are nobody. Him a human being, we need him body, forgive him in funeral. We need to come to an agreement today. And we are doing it professional. We don't want to do it out of contact, out of conduct. Time has come.
Meanwhile, the police say post-mortems being conducted on decomposing bodies require a longer operation time. The news was informed that Constable Spence will be laid to rest next Saturday, which has angered the residents. Back in February, a demonstration was staged a day after Mr. Marsh's body was found. Residents had said they were not allowed to search the area immediately after the crash and accused the police of mishandling the incident. Mr. Marsh's relatives have also called for those conducting the probe to be replaced. Julian Silvera's bail application to be decided on May 14. Former St. Mary Western Member of Parliament Julian Silvera will have to wait a while longer to see if he will be granted bail. Justice Vinette Graham Allen on Thursday reserved her decision to grant a bail following a bail hearing before the Home Circuit Court. Her decision will be handed down on May 14. Attorney Peter Champagny KC spoke with members of the media following the in-camera hearing.
I will not and I cannot go into the details because of the judge's order. And what I will say is that it was very intense and very comprehensive. The prosecution presented their side, and Ms. Riley and I presented our side. And the end result is that a decision will be known on the 14th of May.
Mr. Silvera is charged with the murder of his wife, Melissa. The former People's National Party MP was charged in January following a 2-month-long probe into the sudden death of his wife at their home in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. It was initially reported that Mrs. Silvera died in her sleep on November 10, but a post-mortem later revealed the presence of bullet fragments in her body, prompting a murder investigation. Investigators made a breakthrough in the case in January after ballistic tests allegedly linked Mr. Silvera's licensed firearm to the shooting. He has denied the allegations. Mom accused of fatally throwing baby off roof awaits a psychiatric evaluation. Shamoya Green, the woman who allegedly threw her 5-month-old daughter off the roof of their home in December 2023, leading to the child's tragic death, is currently awaiting psychiatric treatment. When the case was mentioned in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday, Presiding Judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton issued an order after learning that Green, who was absent due to being at the Falmouth Public General Hospital in Trelawney for undisclosed injuries, is scheduled to be committed for psychiatric evaluation on July 3. The judge had expressed a concern that Green had not received an assessment following the incident, despite being under the care of the psychiatric unit at Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. If Miss Green is in the hospital for physical ailments, what is the difficulty in assessing her for her mental illness at the same time? Asked the judge on Thursday, expressing astonishment that this course of action had not been taken in Green's case. The truth is, I only became aware that she's hospitalized this morning. I don't know if the family is aware. When an individual goes to the hospital, I presume that if that individual suffers from a mental disorder, that is going to manifest itself at some point during the course of the hospitalization. When it manifests itself, I think that immediately the nurses there would alert the nurses or doctors who specialize in that ailment, so that they can come and do an assessment. That is what I think. It might not necessarily be how it operates there, Fairclough Hilton said, while expressing surprise that such an avenue has not been taken in Green's case. The clerk of court then indicated to the court that they are aware of the challenges faced by the department in scheduling appointment dates. What I'll do in the interim, I'll set a date for us to make contact with the psychiatric department to advise them that she's already hospitalized. So if they could make some allowances to see her, we'd be grateful, Fairclough Hilton declared. The judge then scheduled the case for May 16 so that a contact can be made with the hospital to see if the accused could be seen by a psychiatric doctor at the Falmouth Hospital. Allegations are that on December 6, 2023, about 5:35 p.m., Green was at home with her common-law husband and other family members when she asked to have a conversation with her partner about their relationship. However, the man reportedly deferred the talks for later that evening. Green allegedly became enraged and left the room, taking her 5-month-old daughter Destiny with her. She reportedly took Destiny to the roof on the 3rd floor of the building and threw the child onto the concrete pit in the yard. The police were alerted and Destiny was taken to the hospital where she died while being treated. Man accused of being contracted killer testifies. The man accused of being contracted to kill Simone Campbell Collymore testified on Thursday that he and the slain woman's husband, Omar Collymore, who is one of 3 men on trial for the January 2, 2018 murder, spoke to each other every day on the phone only about business, girls, and parties. Additionally, Michael Adams told the court that the only time he had gone to the Collymore's house was when he took a plumber there. Adams, Collymore, Shaquilla Edwards, and Dwayne Pink are on trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston for the murder of Collymore's wife and the taxi operator, Winston Walters. Both were killed outside the main gate of the Forest Ridge apartment complex where Campbell Collymore lived. They were shot dead just before 4 p.m. by 2 men who were traveling on motorcycles. It is alleged that Collymore contracted Adams to get a hitman to take out his wife, while Edwards and Pink are said to be part of the conspiracy to have the woman killed. Adams, in an unsworn statement in court, said he and Collymore were business associates and therefore had good reasons to communicate with each other, even at odd hours of the night or morning from December 16, 2017 to January 2, 2018. He insisted that he and the other men never spoke about murdering anyone at any point in time. The calls between me and Mr. Collymore that were in the early morning, we would be talking about business, life, girls and parties. But girls are girls and men are men. We are typically human. Adams said, adding that men are not perfect and they tend to cheat sometimes. Me and the other men never spoke about any sort of killing or murder. I do not know any one of the accused as known killer. I know Mr. Pink conducts business at the same lane where my grandmother lives and where I live also. He sells tobacco by the pound and sometimes I would make a link for him to see if anybody want grabber to buy. I would introduce new people to his business as well. We talk about a lot of things, but no killing, Adams testified. He said that he knew one of the alleged shooters in the double murder, a man by the name of Jim, who is now deceased. But Adams denied knowing the other shooter, Wade Blackwood. Blackwood, who pleaded guilty to the double murder, received a reduction in his prison sentence in return for giving evidence against Collymore, Adams and the others. Me and Mr. Blackwood never spoke and Mr. Blackwood knows nothing about me. Me and Mr. Blackwood are not in any gang in the Brook Valley area. Me and Mr. Blackwood never had any conversations, but me and Jim had conversations based on our relationship and my business, Adams said. He then went on to explain what he had meant in text messages between himself and Jim in reference to a request for him to send Jim the license plate numbers on specific vehicles in downtown Kingston. In Mr. Blackwood's statement, he said that I had a meeting with Jim and him, accompanied by Mr. Pink. I never went to Brook Valley that day when he said I had a meeting with Mr. Jim about contract killing. Me and Mr. Blackwood never had any conversations of the sort. He stated that he knew me over a period of 10 years. I did not know Mr. Blackwood until the day I went into custody. On January 2, 2018, I was conducting business in the downtown area. In the text messages between me and Jim, he asked me for a favor to see if 2 cars were in a lane. I saw the cars and texted him 2 license plate numbers. I did not know his intentions or what he was about to do. Me and Mr. Jim's business was not to conduct any killing or murder, Adams insisted. He also sought to explain what was meant in a text message between himself and Collymore, in which the description of a vehicle was given and in which there was a level of urgency to accomplish something. It was also revealed in court that Adams went to pay Collymore's wife a visit at a church in Duhaney Park on one occasion. I went to the church at Duhaney Park to give her the damaged goods. On my way to Duhaney Park, my phone died. I went to New Haven where I know Mr. Edwards lived and let him know that I needed a call. I borrowed his phone and contacted Mr. Collymore from Mr. Edwards' phone. On December 31, 2018, Mr. Collymore gave me a hoverboard after I asked him for it. It had battery problems and needed to be fixed. It was no down payment for any contract for any killing, Adams told the court. Adams also claimed that while in police custody, he was physically abused by cops who pressured him to sign certain documents without his attorney present. The day I turned myself in at the Constant Spring police station, they carried me to search my premises on the 29th of January. While at the Central Police Station, I indicated to a policeman that I needed my lawyer before I speak or answer to anything. He turned to me and said I didn't need any lawyer because me and my friend them go kill the people them up already else. Them all cut me $2. Them asked me who was my lawyer and I told them. When my lawyer came, I told him I would fight the case because I do not know anything about any murder, Adams said. On Wednesday, Omar Collymore from the witness box gave the 7-member jury similar reasons why he and Adams would have communicated frequently from December to January. However, he never mentioned having any conversations with Adams about the parties and the women. Facing cross-examination from prosecutor Andrea Martin Swaby on Wednesday, Collymore said there was nothing strange about the frequency of the calls to and from Adams and the time those calls were made. The trial continues today.